Freezer, there's breaking news at the Best of the Rest podcast.
There is, Sticks. Breaking news. We're a little bit late, but it's still breaking and we're going to uncover it.
I guess we just get right into it. There's not much more we can dangle there.
No.
Doohan is no longer racing at Alpine, and all the rumours have been confirmed.
Doohan has been replaced by Franco Colapinto.
It's been coming for about 6 months or longer.
Yeah, rumours have been floating for a while. He was signed up as Colapinto was signed up as a reserve driver for a multi-year deal, and it was always, what the fuck's going on here? And now we know.
All right. Well, to give you a little bit of context, apparently Colapinto is on a 5 or a 6 race contract, and then they're going to reassess the drivers and decide from there. I call bullshit. Colapinto's on a massive deal with Alpine, so why are they going to give him 5 races? I think that's probably just to soften the blow a little bit. And secondly, to go along with the driver swap, the team principal also chucked it in.
Yeah, so we can't comment too much on what's going on there. It's been a little bit hush-hush, but Ollie Oakes has stepped down as team principal from Alpine, and Flavio Briatore will cover duties that were previously occupied by Ollie, is pretty much how the team statement rolled out. Give or take, I'm obviously paraphrasing there. But Flavio also released a statement later saying that a lot of people have been suggesting that Ollie has been moved on and Flavio's taken him over, and Flavio has said that that's not the case, that this is Ollie's decision, and that Ollie hasn't been sacked from Alpine. He's still there in some capacity, but I think I'm just going to wait and see how things pan out here.
You wouldn't trust the word, that lying bastard.
I never liked him coming back into Alpine or the sport in general. Like, he got a lifetime ban, and now this man is literally, team principal and running the team. I don't like it.
Just to catch everyone up, he got a lifetime ban for cheating, 20 years ago?
Roughly 20 years, yeah.
Something like that. And now the fact he's back in the sport is piss weak on Ferrari. Ferrari just got the straight for no reason on Formula One.
They start with F. It's close.
Yeah, I mean, we could start rinsing everyone, but it's just not a good look for the sport. If you're going to have a lifetime ban for a bloke that's cheating, that brings the integrity of the sport into jeopardy, then why do you let him come back in? I don't care how much money he's got or the influence, Like, put your foot down.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's involved in this and that he's a weasel, yeah.
Oh, it just reeks, doesn't it? It
Horrible.
Just fucking reeks.
Another aspect of this is Franco Colapinto's fan base, if you will, has been harassing and threatening, and I think death threats are probably a part of the threats that Doohan has been copping online. Well, probably this whole year, but I think it had come to a head before the Miami weekend, and the reports are that Doohan, along with his family, had to hire extra security because they didn't feel safe going into this race weekend, had to have security at the hotel because of these vile threat that Colapinto's, a select base of Colapinto's fan base were throwing around, which is just disgusting.
Yeah, you hate to see and hear that stuff. It's terrible that it's an Australian as well that's copping it, but no one deserves to be hold any kind of abuse, and especially threats or death threats. So, I don't know much about this side of it, but if all that allegedly is true, then that's just disgusting, really. But nothing, you can't be upset with Franco. It's nothing to do with him. You can't group it to say anything to do with the country or whatnot, but you get passionate supporters, but That's near dial it back in. Like that's disgusting.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, it does sort of drag Colapinto's name down a little bit when this sort of bullshit's attached to him, and it's only going to be a small, very tiny, minute percentage, but people need to bloody pull their heads in.
Yeah.
It's like you've got respectful supporters, and then you get these few that go way too far, that then that's linked to Franco, and Franco's not going to be about that at all. And you're putting a bad name on the rest of the supporter base that are all Franco fans.
Yeah.
And sort of makes it a bit murky, this transition between drivers. It's this shouldn't even be mentioned.
No,
But,
and there's no need for it. Jack hasn't done anything wrong except for being given the seat and the opportunity to drive, and they take it out on him. And maybe he wasn't quite performing at a standard that people would have liked, but there's no need for threats, like just to get Franco in there. That's don't like it. Don't like it at all.
So yes, that's another element to keep an eye on going into the next race weekend, and probably sad to say, but I would assume that that's probably the end of Jack Doohan's career in Formula One, unless someone gives him a lifeline, but it doesn't look likely at this stage.
Yeah, it's always very hard to get a seat back in Formula One once you've been axed as such, and especially that it's this early in the season. People have got a very short memory, so he'll be forgotten about pretty quickly. I don't mean that in a kind of a horrible sense, but yeah, the way that people move on, especially if Franco comes in and does a great job when they're looking at new people for seats, it's likely going to be people who are currently performing well or coming up through F2 or whatnot.
Yeah, the news media cycle as well, that'll move on from this story. It'll be the pressure of the next person that's underperforming, or there's rumours going around, this person's going to get moved on. So, yeah, hopefully you can hope that he gets another opportunity or moves on to a different category and does well. But, yeah, as of right now, that's the end of Jack Doohan's time in Formula One.
Yeah, it is. And, you see as well when they move on to a different category that they don't really get that shot back in Formula One. It doesn't seem to really correlate that well. Like, you got Giovinazzi and who else was there that's doing the Enduros?
Mick Schumacher and Nick De Vries.
Yeah, that's it. And there's probably a couple others as well that we're not thinking of there, but they're the main three that we're talking about earlier, and they're holding their own.
Doing.
Well, he could be. Doohan could be mixing it.
Right. Well, on that note, that wraps on another pod. Box.
Righto, time to retire today's episode. We've spoken enough on young Doohan. Hope to see him again. But let's get her out of here. Thanks for listening. We've I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm just going around in circles. Give us a like, a follow, a share, subscribe. Hit us up. Send us some messages. Sticks will buy you a drink. I don't know.
I feel like I'm at the airport watching a plane just circling and circling and circling. I'm like, when's this thing going to land?
Someone direct me to the fucking bay. Righto, catch us later.
Look at this. This is not a dog. This is a piece of shit.